Last week, I faced one of Blue Sky's very worst. This week, I go back to the House of Mouse, and I take on a film they tried to bury. Try as they may, they can't hide their mistakes. Not from me. Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. I'm Erod and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. Going back to the subject of movies that almost ended traditionally animated cartoon movies, we have Home on the Range, a Disney film that bombed so hard it prompted the famed studio not to release any more traditionally animated movies for 5 years. Luckily, that streak was broken by The Princess and the Frog and 2011's Winnie the Pooh. But for 5 long years, it seemed like Disney had thrown in the towel and given up on the art form they once excelled at. Originally, believe it or not, this film was supposed to be a Western retelling of The Pied Piper of Hamlet. But as Disney head Michael Eisner promptly pointed out to the creators, nobody wants to see a movie in which a guy tries to murder all of the children in one town. So the boys at Disney took the project back to the literal drawing board and came up with the movie that I'm about to review today. Here we go. So our movie begins in the Old West, as we are introduced to our heroine, Maggie the cow, played by Roseanne Barr. Too easy.
Yeah, they're real. Quit staring.
Well, now we know why this movie is rated PG and not G. So as it turns out, there is a nefarious cattle rustler on the loose, Alameda Slim, who stole all the cattle from Maggie's ranch, running her owner out of business. So the poor fella has no choice but to close the ranch and sell Maggie to a dairy farm called Patch of Heaven. Here we meet Maggie's supporting heifers, the ditzy but lovable Grace, played by Jennifer Tilly, and the smart but uptight Mrs. Calloway, played by Dame Judi Dench. Okay, I know what you're thinking. How in the hell did they get the award-winning, classically trained, highly sought-after Dame Judi Dench to be in this horrible movie? Well, apparently Disney promised her a very special cameo in one of their future movies.
Is that it? Hey, a dairy farm? Now we're talking! Hope it's not one of them fat-free places.
So immediately, Maggie begins to rub her new barn mates the wrong way.
Thanks, everybody! It's great to be here in Patch of Heaven. Now, don't everybody speak at one time. What is this, the frozen food section? Is this thing on?
This here is Maggie. Three-time winner of the Golden Udder Award and the original Miss Happy Heifer.
A show cow on Patch of Heaven.
So Mrs. Calloway doesn't like Maggie just because she's a show cow? Look, if you're gonna hate her, at least pick a good reason.
Wait a minute. I got something stuck in my ear. This one's for me.
Like that one. So after many unfunny one-liners and pointless gags, the plot finally rears its ugly head. So as it turns out, since Alameda Slim has put all the cattle ranchers out of business, the local bank is desperate for money. Henceforth, they can no longer afford to give mortgage payment extensions to the owner of Patch of Heaven. So now she has 3 days to pay $750, or she will lose the farm. Maggie suggests they all enter themselves as show animals at the state fair, so they can win prize money and use it to save the farm. Mrs. Calloway says that this is a dumb idea, and she will not take part of it. Well, while I think it's rather pessimistic of her to dismiss a possible solution, I respect her stance.
Mrs. C.
Well, what made you change your mind?
Wait a minute, she's going along, but she just said that... Oh.
So you think you got the drop on me? Well, think again.
Why is there a horse karate fighting a bunch of random bad guys? I thought I was watching a movie about 3 cows saving a farm!
Buck! Earth to Buck! Buck! It's your move.
Okay, that was the most abrupt random sequence I've seen since... And seriously, what the fuck was up with that? This is Buck, and he is played by Cuba Gooding Jr. The character has 2 modes, charming dimwit and hyperactive douchehole.
Who put this here?
Yup, his name is Buck, and he came here to piss me off!
Cleaning up the West. Kicking bad guy behind. Woo!
I hate that horse. So our 3 bumbling bovines arrive in the town, and oh my god, what the hell is this shit?
That must be the sheriff.
What is it with this movie and all the random shenanigans? Could we please cut to something else? Anything. Oh, no, okay, I'm good, I'm sorry.
What kind of sheriff's office is that?
If that's the sheriff's office, this town rocks.
So Buck's major motivation in this movie, just in case you couldn't tell, is to be a crime fighter. More specifically, to be the horse of the greatest bounty hunter in the West, Rico.
Rico.
Is Rico Storm from the X-Men?
Who is that? Sorry.
Such a man. I'd follow him to hell and back, I would.
Apparently, Rico has cleaned the West of all outlaws, except for one, Alameda Slim, who is literally worth $750, the exact same amount of money the cows need to save the farm. Convenient! But before Rico can round up one more desperado, he's going to need a new horse.
A horse. A horse? Let me think. I reckon you'd want a fast horse, huh? Real fast? Of course, he'd also have to be able to go for days without food or drink.
Something very wrong with that horse.
He'll do.
Suit yourself.
Maggie suggests they try to catch Alameda Slim and use the bounty to save the farm, when suddenly, the cows get into a fight because Maggie touches Mrs. Calloway's hat. Gee, I hope they explain why she is so sensitive about others touching her hat, for I am so interested in this subplot. The sheriff rounds up the rowdy heifers and makes them part of a cattle drive. Here, Maggie confesses that she doesn't want to catch Slim just to save the farm. She also wants to get revenge for Slim running her out of her home. And right on cue, the rowdy rustler shows up.
Listen up. There are crooks in this here West who have claimed to be the best.
Oh God.
Not a one's as good as me.
Oh,
and I
God,
barely
no.
have to move a single muscle. They call me mean, but this thing I do. You see, you're little the sweetest way of rustling yet devised. 'Cause when you're little well, gee, how them cows can hypnotize. He don't from a bovine point of view. I sure can your little idol, your little idol, your little idol. Here we go.
I think I'm okay now. So, as you might have guessed, This is the part of the original Pied Piper concept that was salvaged. Slim's ability to hypnotize cattle with his yodeling.
He's a pioneer Pied Piper in 10-gallon underpants.
But it's okay, Grace is immune to the siren song, cause she is tone deaf. Convenient! Grace saves the others from being taken away with the rest of the cattle. Rico and Buck are hot on Slim's trail, but he still gets away.
Quarry.
I hate that horse. Rico finally wises up and decides to ditch Buck for another horse.
Huh, I can catch that Slim with one hoof tied behind my back. Wait a minute. Why don't I? Yes! Partner or no partner? That's what I'm gonna do. Hey!
Yes! Now we have yet another subplot of Buck chasing after Slim on his own. Yay!
Definitely bipolar.
Move it, Mr. Hero! Passing on the left.
Well, maybe they just didn't like your yodeling. He didn't mean it, Uncle Slim. Everybody likes yodeling.
I don't. As it turns out, Slim is actually Mr. Y. Odell, the wealthy rubber baron who has been buying all of the cattle ranches that he himself ran out of business.
Step in and take all the land.
Who are you? What do you do with Uncle Slim? Put up your dukes, Mr. Fancy Britches.
It's me. Hello.
Wait a minute. I've seen this before somewhere.
Here, I'll show you what I mean. Look. I'm Clark Kent. No, I'm Superman. Mild-mannered reporter. Superhero. Hello? Duh.
Uncle Slim?
Correct. Now, I put on my hat, then I put on my spectacles.
Ah! Hey, who are you? Where's Uncle Slim?
Oh!
Here, Slim confesses that his motivation for stealing the cattle and taking over the territory is that he was greatly underappreciated when he was a young farmhand. That's it? That's why he's taking over the West and ruining everybody's lives? Do you remember when the Disney villains used to have good motivations, like getting snubbed out of a party invitation? Or wanting to marry the one girl in town who didn't want to marry you back? Or wanting to make a fancy fur coat out of 100 and what? You know what? Never mind. So a flash flood hits our heroic heifers, and they end up stranded on a small piece of dry land. Maggie and Miss Calloway are at each other's throats over all the bad decisions that they have made during this adventure. So with all hope lost, it is that time again.
Forced dramatic montage.